Awesome, we are live. Hello, YouTube world. Welcome to another community committee meeting. The agenda issue we'll be going through today is issue number 551 over in the ComCom repo. Would just drop the link in for the panelists. But would love to do a quick initiative update if we have any updates from initiatives. Speak now or forever hold your updates. We're missing a number of people today, so I won't go through the roll call of initiatives asking for updates. So anyway, I have an update from website redesign, I guess, just really quickly. We are still chugging away on working. I know I personally have been a little checked out the last week and a half for umpteen million things at work. But we're still working on getting MVP implementation out, landed a couple updates for like downloads page styles. I know Saleh landed or was hacking away on homepage like CLI instruction widget, which is awesome. I landed a while back now a PR for new API docs layouts. So we're getting really close to the bare minimum we need to start chopping it around. I said this a week and a half ago, and I apologize, Saleh, for my deadline slipping. But I want to take it on a roadshow to a bunch of other meetings throughout Node and start showing it around to folks on the technical side of the project and start soliciting feedback and socializing a bit. So we're almost to that point. I'm excited for it to happen. Fingers crossed soon. Any other updates?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I should do, because our initiative is basically hanging on getting the survey question out and then what next. So I'm not sure if I should say it now or wait until we're covering 507, which is the third point.
Yeah, if it's on the agenda, let's wait for the
sure.
The agenda item. That'll be good. Cool. And with that, it's a nice segue to the agenda. So I'm gonna start at the top, go down. The first issue on the agenda is issue 416 under node.js/admin, the Collab Summit in Montreal. Do we have someone's context on this? I'm assuming it is just a reminder for us to submit Collab Summit. Yeah, tickets, right?
I can talk to it, or Rachel can talk to it a little bit too. Yeah, just please submit your CFPs that you have for Collab Summit or kind of lightning talk style things for the community corner. Also, they're in the same link. So if you could indicate which you are interested in doing, that would make my life a lot easier as my goal is to do the agenda hopefully this afternoon. Everybody goes offline for me in the West Coast at about 2 o'clock. So then I actually have time to do things. So that's my plan for this afternoon. So if people could get those in, I would really appreciate it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Also, yeah, about the Global Summit, I need some updates on there's a draft agenda in the summit repo. And I need someone to merge the PR. I don't have access. Maybe if someone has the access, can also add me to the repository. And other than that, there's also an issue which has been about Collaborative Summits, where we just keep track of all the things happening, just like the previous Collaborative Summits. And we are also looking for who is going to be in the organizers list. Last time it was Jordi, Motaal, and and I think Manil was also there. So I tagged those person and whoever else is interested in helping organizers, Eva, and I'll add you in the list and also document in the agenda itself.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I'm so heartbroken. I'm not going to be there this year.
Oh.
It's right when Hawaii happens.
I was wondering if
Yeah.
it overlapped with Hawaii or not. Well, you'll be much warmer than we will. We're going to be very cold.
That's true. I'll send you pictures to make you all jealous.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Thank you for the reminders for that. Looking forward to seeing it come together. Next issue is issue 547, their node.js/ComCom. This is the community OKRs ticket, which I believe Tierney has the most context on, and I have not heard the latest on the conversation. Do we have a specific update for this, or is it say, let's keep talking about it? And do we not quite have quorum today for that?
I think we can wait for the next meeting because Tierney has the most context about it, and yeah, so
yeah, that's what I figured. And we're missing a whole slew of members, so yeah, we will table this for next time. Although I have to say, I love the idea. Let's freaking do it. So cool. Moving right along, issue 543. Another oh, this is a Giuseppe proposal. Nice. This is, yeah, I again don't have 100% context on this issue. I'm assuming it's going to be the same as the last one, where we don't quite have enough folks to discuss it. But what do y'all think?
Sorry, which ComCom working meeting? No, yeah, Giuseppe had, but I don't have any context on this also.
Yeah, it's basically asking to add a working meeting where we can all call in. And
yeah, there was supposed to be a meeting. It was skipped because he was busy, and I think he's planning to do next one. Yeah.
Can you all hear me still? My headphones just died and switched to my laptop.
Yeah, we can hear you. Hello.
There we go. Cool. I can almost not hear you, but that's okay. It'll work. Yeah, it's basically just adding a working meeting on the off week. Not opposed to, but we just need somebody to run it. So cool. Joe's just going to try and run this starting next week.
Okay. Yeah,
Good to know. Cool. I may take this off the agenda and wait for the first meeting to get a status update. Taking this off. Give us a status update. Cool. Awesome. Chugging right along. We are now looking at initiative 507, which is preparing questions for the annual survey in 5:30.
Yeah.
Saleh, I think you have context on this.
Yeah, so basically, the initiative, I think, has been discussed many times, but it's just about trying to understand how we can be a more inclusive mainstream and trying to actually get there. There are a lot of uncertainties, and so an initiative that comes and says, okay, here's what we need to do, I have the answer, that doesn't work. So we start with a survey that we'll put in the annual survey, and that will help us sort of begin the journey of identifying, priorities to propose and hopefully actually begin on the initiative. Last meeting, we looked at the questions that we kind of proposed, me and Saleh together. And since then, we've had the opportunity, along with Rachel and Georg from the Chaos Project. They're doing a lot of impressive work with metrics about open source projects, the health aspect of it. So we had the opportunity to take a second look at what we're asking in the annual survey, And, we were, really distracted in many different directions, trying to solve answers that we don't necessarily we're not necessarily positioned to be asking in the right context. So we took a second look at the survey, and we actually cut down those questions to one question that has two parts. One of them helps us get some read that we can compare the diversity of our own community based on the responses we get relative to the same data generated elsewhere in the open source space. The other part is whether or not, as a Node.js contributor who might be having some accessibility related circumstances that, special circumstances there, that you actually feel that the current mediums or media are actually working out well for you. And I think between those two, we raise awareness. We, start outreach efforts because it takes people with different challenges to understand how we can tackle, being inclusive for a diverse, set of different circumstances. And at the same time, we will get the first sample of the Node.js community, how diverse we actually are today and how we, want to work on changing that. I'm pretty sure it's fair to assume that we need to be more inclusive. That's the reality of life all the time. And so this will be the first, data point that can help us actually know where we are. And yeah, I guess that's it.
Awesome. It'd be good to get numbers on that. I have two questions. Since I've been, just been poking my head back into the discussions here. One, I think I know the answer to, but I'm going to ask it because it's, the obligatory privacy concern. But like, are there any privacy concerns asking this on the regular survey that went out? And do we worry about that?
We thought about it, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're trying to make sure that there aren't any identifying questions like, if you want to join, put your name or put your email. We're trying to make sure that this is separated out from the actual response, and to encourage different ways of identifying people who are interested in something in particular. To consider the survey as a kind of like a properly anonymous tool that does not actually relate a person to the statistical data collected from their response.
Yeah, and because the answering my own question here, but because the survey is not used to choose benefits for anybody of any kind, there's no discrimination case that could be made for collecting this data and asking this question, even if it was associated with an identity. And there is an opt-out for it, so it's not a mandatory answer.
But there's an extension to that point, and I think it's fair to say if we have a question about, let's say, less typical audience, then maybe we want to make sure that the survey can actually be circulated where it is historically has not been possible to. It's we can do this year, next year, but it would be good for us to make sure the survey sample it is as diversified as we want to see the community, in its full become.
Totally. And second question, are there, do we want, well, questions in two parts. Do we have free-form answers in the survey? And if so, do we want to add a how can we do better question here?
Like an open-ended?
Yeah, because we don't know what we don't know about what.
Yeah,
what
I think I think this requires a feedback mechanism. It's hard to get to like people who will have this survey. There are 70 questions in total, and one of them is about this. So I'm not sure if they will be in the right headspace taking let's do the survey. You know, they might feel that they could not express themselves on the spot or whatever. So it's very important that we actually create the feedback, you know, counterpart to the statistical one. So I mean, these are potentially building blocks of the initiative. Sounds fair?
Yeah, it does. How about everyone else? Any other input here? Well, Gary's on the line.
All right. Well, thank you.
This is Rachel. Nothing else to necessarily. I mean, I feel like everything's been covered, but the Saleh has done a really great job with reaching out to other open source communities to kind of figure out how other folks have done this, and bringing in Georg has been really instrumental. And in fact, the question that he helped us kind of come to is it's basically a demographic question around ability. And so it's a question that has been used in other surveys, and it's something that we will be able to, you know, kind of compare kind of the health, or not even necessarily health, just sort of how our community looks to other communities. And so it was a really great meeting that we had, and I'm really comfortable with what we're going to include in the survey. And I feel like it's probably, you know, it's a great ad, and I think it kind of goes along with some of the other demographic stuff that we're looking for. So it's been a real pleasure to kind of get to this point, and I'm really confident in what we've selected. So
Awesome. Yeah, well, we don't have, I would ask for, you know, if anybody is a hard blocker on this or wants any more, but we're missing a whole slew of folks. So I think what we're gonna, all right, actually, let me ask, Rachel, what is next steps here? Do we need quorum from ComCom to add it? Are we just like, do we feel like we're in a good place to just say, go ahead and get in the survey? Like, where are we? What's next?
I feel like we're in a good place. I mean, we initially put this in the admin repo. So it was ComCom and TSC, or yeah, that initially we got feedback from, but it was more of like collaboration versus like blocker or approve necessarily. I feel like the survey is the new question, and it's just one added question because we kind of got consensus on that repo previously. The question is essentially, do you identify as having any disability/ability as defined under the Americans with Disabilities Act? And we list out sort of what they define as those things. And we have a yes, no, and prefer not to answer question. So it's very, the question is out there as far, it's not like a new question that we've created. So it's pretty typical with other surveys. For me, I would suggest that we just kind of move forward. We still have to get it translated. We still have to get it programmed into, the survey tool. And I still have to get a final read through with our survey professional who's helping us with this. So I really want to launch this thing before Interactive so that we can talk about it at Interactive and, raise some awareness and then keep it open, through maybe January so that we can get some results early 2020.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to, I would just hate to stall it any further.
Yeah, well, the issue's been open since October 4th, which is more than enough time for folks to comment on it who feel strongly or want to get involved in the conversation. So, Saleh, let's consider that second sign-off check from ComCom in a good place on the issue, and we can move forward with Rachel upstreaming it to next attendance here.
So I just one sec have to really thank everyone, and I know we all want to see an uncertain future, but like we're not sure what it looks like. So it's kind of hard to know where to step, but we all want to step somewhere, and everyone has been really amazing. Thank you. And just I have to mention, because Saleh couldn't join us and he hasn't been able to join recently. I guess due to work commitments. He's also continuing with this initiative, and he's been doing a lot of very, very important stuff. As like I guess it takes as much effort as we can all put in there, and there are a lot of people in Node.js, that definitely have proved that this is the right place to start. Thanks.
And thank you for coming in. And so it's hard to come into a new community and dive in and make new proposals like this, but you championed it well and have been a great leader for it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, chugging right along since we're almost at the half-hour mark and about halfway through the agenda. Issue number 526 is up next. This is the update the charter to reflect changes. I'm assuming this has been brought up in every ComCom since it was up and since it went up from Tyranny at September 5th. It looks like folks are coming in and approving changes, unless there are specific things to talk about here. My hunch is it's a reminder for approving, correct?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, if you haven't already and you have permissions, go in, review and approve. Guilty as charged. That will do that as well. Otherwise, hopefully we'll end this soon and finally be in compliance for our legal structure. One more step closer to compliance.
Minor details. Minor details.
Yeah, just small details. Dotting our T's and crossing our I's. Cool. Issue number 444 is next. Node.js social media community collaboration. Rachel, do we have an update here? What's the status?
I think I need to get with Tierney on this one. I know that he and I had a quick conversation before I was out of town for a little while. And I know I missed the last ComCom. So I think I just need to circle back with him because I'm not exactly sure. Of the update on this one.
Yeah, last I knew there were just a couple comments on the blog post, and then folks went and traveled for a bit or were heads down for a while. So looks like we just need totally. I'm looking at the doc again.
I was in the last meeting and Tierney shared the update in private session, which was related to this. So I'm not sure if I should.
Okay. Yeah, well, Waleed, it'll be good to get up to date. We'll at the end of the meeting, I'll take us offline and hang on for 1 second, and we'll chat. We'll chat then. Thanks for bringing that up. Cool. So we'll table that for a couple moments, because we have just one more agenda item. Rachel, Node.js collection next steps, and/or Waleed.
I can update about that. So Rachel and I had a meeting a few days ago about there's a PR to update the process. We are there's also some review from Tierney on the PR. And there's been progress. Now we have a Trello board which is public. It's not shared, but we're putting it into the process. But I need to finalize the process of reviewing the blog post with Tierney and other members of ComCom. Is that what we are doing right now is if someone submits an article or blog post through Medium, there's a way that you can be an editor on Medium and you can review it there. But problem with that is it's not that user friendly as the Google Docs are. And the other thing is, if as we are planning in future to move to other platforms also, like dev.to or our own blog at the new site. I was thinking about to have one process like using Google Docs for everything, and then if we do that, the benefit would be that no matter where we post the article, the review process will remain same for every platform. So if we agree to use Google Docs, then there will be more things that we need to finalize, that where the doc will live, if it will use the foundation Google account or node.js project Google account, I don't know, and then who will create the doc every time. So we need to like more talk about it and get everyone's opinion on it.
Awesome. So this has been open for a while. Is there specific people blocking it, or decisions from somebody that you need?
No, it's not from someone. It's just like for like past couple of months, it was not, we couldn't do anything because everyone was busy and like traveling or somewhere. And then last week we had the meeting, and I'll get training on it, and we'll get, hopefully in the next meeting we'll finalize more things, and yeah, push it through.
Yeah, let's land this plane. Cool.
But yeah, thanks to Rachel for helping on this and every time. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, barring more convo on that, and last chance, any other issues folks want to bring up ad hoc at the end here?
Can I just say, I put the link for the next AMA. We're not doing one in December, but we're doing one in January on modules. If you guys could just publicize that, I would really appreciate it. It's just basically the link to sign up, and then the link to, in the same format, gives you a place to ask questions. So if folks could publicize that, I would really appreciate it.
And I just dropped the link into the chat again. I don't know if folks who joined after you joined can see the chat history, but yeah,
okay,
I just I'm not sure about that, so I just reposted it just in case.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
If anybody has questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
Awesome. Well, barring any of the last minute additions, I'm going to take us offline, and everybody stick around for one more second to get context from last meeting. And thank you all for tuning in on the public stream.
All right, I'm signing off, everyone. Thanks a lot.
Okay, bye, Saleh.
See ya.